Hi, YouTube. This last week of home ownership has been such a stressful one on me. I actually think it made me get like a really bad chest cold. And I know a lot is said that, I I mean, I don't even know who says it, but I think it's kind of understood that, the goal is to kind of achieve buying a home. And I think that goal sucks sometimes. I mean, home ownership has its perks. It certainly does. But with the stresses of this week of dealing with having property in St. Pete's and dealing with, possible wave of destruction coming through from Hurricane Milton is such a stress. And it making me, and I'm sure others in Florida, rethink their position on whether or not it even makes sense to own in Florida. Or even just for me personally, do I even want these additional extra properties? Part of what we were dealing with is trying to get my brother to leave the property. One, he didn't want to evacuate. He wanted to see whether the storm was coming really close or not. And that just put on a whole nother level of stress. And then him not being financially prepared to, you know, take care of being able to evacuate on his own. And the stress of finally, when he agreed to do it, me trying to get an Uber to get him out safely so that he could not put his life or anyone else's life at risk. And Florida was offering Ubers, but he missed the window of the Uber. He literally just missed it, the free Ubers. So the coupon code that they gave to get people to shelters expired. Anyway, we were able to get a Lyft driver to take him with a, really nice car, which was great. But that's a really, really big stress. And then we had the stress of our renter. Our renter, although living on the second floor and wasn't exactly in a flood zone, it was kind of understood if we were going to be on the north side of the wall, there might be a lot of rain. And I don't know. I've been through a couple of these storms already, and I wouldn't want to be there. So we gave our renter the opportunity to say, hey, if you want to hunker down elsewhere, don't think twice about doing that. We want you to be safe. I definitely don't want to deal with, putting other people at risk, just because they're renters. I was a renter before too. I mean, thankfully the renter did leave. But that adds stress. And then worrying about what's going to happen. And of course, what they tell you that, they do try to put fear in you about what's going to happen. And some of that fear is real, honest, truthful opinions. And it could happen to some people. It may not happen to everyone. And we were among the lucky. It didn't happen to us. We survived unscathed. But Florida is like, a lot of it, like even in St. Pete's, was flooded in a lot of areas that normally don't get really flooded, that at least not get flooded from surge. And there was a lot of wind damage, trees down, and, just all around. That causes just waiting to understand what happened. That's such a stress. So I wanted to talk about the benefits of being a renter. And I don't want people to lose sight of how much of a benefit it is to rent a property. First and foremost, you're not tied down to a property. So you kind of don't have to worry about if a property got destroyed. You would just pick up and move and find a new place to rent. It doesn't even have to be in that same town. You have options if you're a renter. You also have a lot more flexibility when it comes to the speed of what you're going to move. You could always end up breaking your lease. When you sell your property, if you were to sell it at a downtime, it's that same cost that you would lose on breaking your lease would basically go to the realtor anyway. So, and generally, a lot of landlords are very understanding. They'll let you break your lease. So I know personally, if if my renter needed to leave, if a job change or something, I'd be okay. You go do what you need to do. Not everybody is like concerned all about the money. Lives come first. And then you're not so worried and stressed about Mother Nature and global warming. That's a huge one. If you don't like your neighbors, you could leave. If you don't like the property or it starts to, get run down and the heat's not working great, you could leave. If you don't like the management company managing the property, you can leave. You could pick up and move. If you don't like anything interior about the property or exterior about the property, you can pick up and you can move. And you don't necessarily even have to move. There are things you could do to change a property that doesn't cost you that much. Your cost when you are a renter does not go up exponentially. It's not like all of a sudden the strange things that happen with home ownership. Someone's mowing the lawn outside, a little pebble goes into a window, and you need to replace the window. Well, if you're a renter, that burden of cost is not on you. If the AC goes out, that burden of cost is not on you. It's on the homeowner. So you're not dealing with the issues of repair and the costs associated with those repairs. You're not worried as much about what Mother Nature is going to do. As long as you're adequately saving and you have an emergency fund, you're okay. If crap happens and hits the fan, you could pick up and leave. It's not as easy with homeownership. If crap happens, then your property values go down. So yeah, if you pick up and leave, you will be probably like the people who live on Pastor Grill. Their properties were destroyed, and some people are now just selling it for the land because they don't want to deal with rebuilding, and FEMA only rebuilds for the property to be equivalent to what it was. So yeah, that's not going to help them on the next storm. Anyway, as I've been dealing with all this stress, and I'm probably going to sleep like a baby this week because there is such a sense of relief that everything is okay. But the benefits of being a renter, I don't think people speak about it enough. And I sure am wishing right now that I was a renter instead, and that all the money that I've been spending, I was just renting. I wouldn't have had to worry so much. I would have completely felt bad for the homeowner, whoever condo I was renting, but it wouldn't have been my problem. It wouldn't have been my stress and my worry. I'd be worrying more about my safety, which is what I do anyway too. But I'm worrying about my home on top of safety of the people that are in my home. Anyway, wonder what your thoughts are about this. I know I'm leaving out so much, but it's been a stressful week, and I'm just overall, even with all the stress, I'm so grateful and thankful that everybody I know is okay, and that we basically, while Florida's all damaged, including the areas around us, we're coming out of this unscathed, and that is just such a sigh of relief. But our property values, I'm sure, have gone down. And that's okay. But yeah, being a renter, don't knock it. It is such a freeing feeling of not having to worry about all the things that go along with homeownership. Okay, well, if you found anything of that you'd like to share, please comment. I really enjoy reading some of the comments, and I haven't been getting any as much lately. And hit like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye.